Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. You know, it's so difficult for us as Americans, I think, most of us anyway, to imagine what it's like to not have the most basic needs in life. I want to take you today to meet a little girl named Ilyana who lives with her grandmother, she and her siblings. And these kids not only didn't have enough food to eat, the grandmother simply didn't have the capacity to provide all of that for them, but they didn't have the kind of clothes that they needed to go to school. You know, there's so much dignity involved in being able to show up and look like that's where you're supposed to be, look like everyone else, and like you belong at this place. All the children that we serve love going to school, but not all of them have the capacity to do that by their own means. So I want you to see this story because I want you to see what happens. You can see it in the faces of the children, you can see it in the relief of the grandmother, and you can hear it in the hope that their story now has. When children are prepared to go on to education, they know instinctively that they are being prepared for life, that they're moving forward, and every child that's impoverished wants that. I want to say thank you for making that possible. Today you're going to see Eliana's story, but down the road on Giving Tuesday, you're going to have an opportunity to be a part of a much bigger outreach as we reach out to children around the world who don't have what it takes to weather the winter in the winter weather and to be able to stay warm, to stay able to go outside, to get where they need to go, have warm hands, warm feet. I hope you'll be a part of all of that. It's Giving Tuesday, and it's a chance for us to do it well and to do it together. So keep an eye out for that. But for right now, I want you to meet Eliana and her family.
Alyona was 7 years old when her mother died. Like any child, she assumed that her father would care for her and her siblings and keep them safe. But 4 years after their mother's death, their father would abandon them, leaving Alyona and her siblings uncertain of what the future would hold.
Now Denis is the one in charge. He looks after the younger ones and teaches them to behave. My grandmother helps us too, but her blood pressure is very high and her heart causes her pain.
Alyona is just 13 years old, and her older brother Denis is 14. As the two oldest children in the family, they have taken on much of the responsibility in caring for the younger siblings. They live with their grandmother, but she struggles to find regular work. She does her best to provide for her 6 grandchildren, but the family often goes hungry.
Sometimes I find seasonal work. Right now I chop zucchini for one farmer. And one bucket earns me a little over $1. Today I filled 7 buckets. When the zucchini season is over, I don't know what I'll do. We will have to rely on the Lord, and that's it.
A new school year will begin soon, but we have nothing. No school clothing, no shoes. We need backpacks, pens, notebooks, and pencils. We need to get these supplies, but there is no money, and we don't always have food, and this is very sad.
Alyona's grandmother shared with the pastor of a local church about their difficult situation with finances and the needs of her grandchildren. Through the pastor, the Orphan Promise team in Ukraine learned about the family's struggle and stepped in to make sure that Alyona and her siblings would be ready for the new school year.
I learned that people were coming to help us. I got up in the morning and thought, I wonder what these people will be like. Will they understand us? But everything was fine. We went to the store, they bought us clothing and shoes. They got me a bag and shoes and jeans and just about everything I needed. Now I will feel beautiful, smart and happy. And I will have a backpack and everything I need for school.
The Orphan Promise team learned that the family didn't have enough food as well, so provided hens, which now supply them with a constant source of eggs. The children now enjoy their new responsibility of taking care of their feathery friends. Their grandmother was simply overwhelmed at the extravagant care that met their needs.
Backpacks and notebooks and clothing. Now they have everything. We have 41 little hens. There will be eggs. Now the children have breakfast before school. I get up early, fry them eggs, and they go to school. And that's good. I want to thank you, good people, for helping. That you raised money for my grandchildren. Thank you very much. May God protect you and your children and grandchildren.
I'm very grateful to everyone who helped us.
Що ви нам помогли.